Monsieur le Président.
Sir, while we express our pleasure on behalf of my delegation on your election to the chairmanship of the 52nd session of the Commission for Population and Development, I would like to share the views and the experience of my country on this topic. Such views and considerations follow, while we support them, those so wisely expressed by Palestine on behalf of the Group of 77 and China, and those by Nigeria on behalf of the African group. May I also commend the reports of the Secretary General in this regard, which gives us a rather clear idea of the major trends in population and the problems which pertain to them. Mr. Chairman, strong and lasting economic growth capable of propelling countries towards the emergence of progress is something which we need for human capital of quality. And this is why the state of Senegal, following the International Conference on Population and Development, convinced of the interrelationship existing between population and sustainable development, very soon took into account a plan called Plan Senegal Emerging in the problems of population and the population dividend. It has made this a major concern by including education, development of skills, employment, access to social services, combating vulnerability of certain strata of the population, as well as managing migration as its priorities. This expression of interest shows the human dimension expected from economic and social policies. Mr. Chairman, this resolute commitment of my country in the emerging Senegal plan to support development of human capital has enabled it to undertake bold policies in this regard. So it is in the area of social protection. The National Scholarship Fund Program for family security is now being carried out to combat extreme poverty and vulnerability. Similarly, the program for universal health coverage is dealing with covering risk of illness and taking over medical services for those who are in the most vulnerable groups. Also, there is a opportunity card for equal opportunity, which gives better economic and social integration of people who are living with handicaps. With regard to health, maternal health, and that of the newborn child, of children, and of young adolescents, Senegal has committed itself to reduce maternal mortality and to continue with its progress in order to achieve the SDG 3 targets. We're recognizing that sexual health and reproductive health, as well as reduction of maternal mortality, are essential in order to achieve the empowerment of women and sexual equality, as well as their positive effect on economic development. The policy of our government in terms of education and training is part of the implementation of the program to improve the quality, equity, and transparency of the education sector and in the area of training. The analysis of the level of achievement of the results in the so-called paquet has enabled us to observe that progress has been achieved in the area of education. In the area of employment, the support project for employment of young people and women, which has been set up since 2014, is fostering micro, small, and middle-sized business for women and young people who's in the area of agricultural and service industries. The program for community development in its component number 2, productivity of rural population and agricultural production, and in terms of the rural entrepreneurship, supports rural women in the creation of small and medium-sized businesses. Also, we must note the initiative of the creation by the General Delegation for Rapid Entrepreneurial Progress among Young People and Women, which has been financed at the level of 30 billion CFA francs by the state of Senegal, as well as the project for the development of entrepreneurship in Senegal 2017, with the financing of 59 billion by the state of Senegal, creating 30,000 jobs. Finally, in the area of production and information data, Senegal intends to continue the strengthening of its capacities at all levels of the national statistics system with a view to sustaining the formulation, follow-up, and evaluation of policies and strategies for development, especially the Emergent Senegal Program, the Sustainable Development Goals, and the improvement of the quality of statistical products for a better satisfaction of demand. In this framework, Senegal has adhered to the special norms for spread of data and the improvement of the quality of statistical production. In this regard, renovation in national accounts through a general business census has been carried out in 2016 with a view to achieving a rather broad base for the structure of the economy. Similarly, population and health studies have been carried out in the past 5 years every year. In spite of the progress achieved in the area of population and development in Senegal, important challenges remain and must be taken up. Among others, strengthening the awareness of the population and advocacy for decision makers and population opinion leaders with a view to reducing the socio-cultural difficulties, costumes, and prejudicial practices which are impinging on the full realization of women's potential professionally and in terms of social status, strengthening the innovative programs existing with a view to fostering access of women to productive factors, financial resources, etc., and to ensure their empowerment economically, promoting strategies and programs to maintain girls in the system of education and to train them with a view to lasting empowerment of women and to maximize their contributions to the process of capturing the population dividend in Senegal. Strengthening professional training for women and their security, since violence against them constitutes a basic obstacle to their full participation in economic and social activities in their communities. Absenteeism, work or in school, or deterioration of their environment. Mr. Chairman, the Senegalese delegation, to conclude, while grateful that we must strengthen and recognizing that we must better coordinate the cooperation internationally supporting population policies, would like to thank all of its development partners, in particular the United Nations Fund for Population, for its leadership on population issues. Thank you.